Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and I am back again, looking down on my city of Revergrad. And the people of Revergrad are sad. The reason they're sad is because I cut off their radio station construction project. It was sucking up all of the gravel. I think I pointed out how much gravel we had. Yeah, it's going down. I got it back up a little bit actually in the time since I've cut it off. I've got 3 trucks running gravel back and forth to here. 2 of the bigger ones and 1 of the little yellow ones, standard size. But I got a couple of the tractor trailer dumpers coming in here as well. But decided to cut that off just at least until it gets close to refilled, because I mean it wasn't even close, and we still need 548 tons of concrete. So I think once I get it started back up again, I think we'll be all right. But we're going to need quite a bit more gravel to get that done. I want to come over here for a minute and talk about this little setup here. I changed it around slightly because here's a good example. Look, we have a train coming back. This is working out great now, as well as I can expect, and I'll explain that. This one signals yellow. Whenever that's yellow, it means there's not somebody blocking immediately in front, but it's blocking a signal 2 down. So when this was red, that turned yellow. We'll watch it when the train goes back out. I imagine they will. That's another reason I started it back up right now. So right now, this chain signal is red. Now what was happening is this guy would want to come in this way, and somebody else would want to come out that way. And that was a problem. So see, now the chain signal's green, and the exact opposite will happen. So this is forcing them to come back in this way and out that way. But I'm very happy with how this whole thing is kind of working. Even though it's not the most efficient, I don't care. I'm not going to have that many steel trains coming in through here, or any other electrical components, or whatever else I may put in here. So now watch this. So this turns red. Just in case you don't know how the chain signals work, I think this is a good example. Let's move forward. Now when he gets past this signal, this block of track will be, quote, green, but this will be blue. So you know your chain signal, it's going to react to this one up here. And I probably can't see that, but I'll move up there in a minute. If you watch, but this is about to turn blue. Come on, baby. There you go, blue. And the reason it's blue is because this signal here is red, because there's a train on this track. So now, I think this is going to work out fine, because if either one of these is red, that turns blue and stops the trains. So once I make these one way in and one way out, which I can't really do without building more track up here. So once I can set these guys to one way, and we can make a rail this way and another rail this way, and then another one coming back this way, we'll be fine. And I think we actually have a rail setup that's decent for being able to do that, but I'm going to get into that in a later episode. But I just wanted to point out how that chain signal works for those of you who get confused like I do about it. I don't play that many railroad games, but this is now, I would say, working as well as I can expect. The only jam ups I get is when 2 trains come in, and one train comes in and one train's going out, and they both want to use the same rail. And until I get this one weighed, that's just going to happen. But I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Now, if we come down here, the only thing I've done off camera, the few things I've done is just mostly build these roads. And I've also continued a little bit on our construction. You can see we're still not even done the firehouse. I did reassign, we're building the bus stop and the firehouse at the same time, just to kind of keep those guys busy. And then I've got the Lumbriska construction crew now building one of the flats. So we just sort of have to get all this built up before we get people moved in. But, plugging away at that. It's going slowly. I miss my warehouse up there. I think it's really slowing things down every time I need components. And this is just a little bit of a remote location. Radomir did have a request that I put in a university up here, and I'm not going to do that. I really just want this to make a few boards, but I have another idea that I think I'd even like to possibly start implementing for a different reason, but it's the thing I wanted to work on. A couple of things I wanted to work on while you guys are here. One of them is we have this road, and I never really completed, you know, connecting it up down here. So I'd like to see why. I forget why I didn't connect it, but I need to get it. I need to get it far enough down here that. Was it because we didn't have, I think it was because I didn't have a bulldozer here, right? Like I couldn't, it wasn't letting me do that. So now we're covered up to here. So we just have to get, and again, we could always come by and delete these roads. Do I want to, let's see, when we go to repave this section, I guess we could come right down here, right? Let's see if that allows us to do that. Yeah. Can I just go like that? Wonderful. And then that's a road right there. Yeah, so we'll just do that, right? All right, so that's something I may work off on camera. Wait. Work on off camera. That's better. And, you know, so that way now we'll have an alternate road that even though it's janky and a mess, at least it's a dirt road so that when I go to repave all of this, we'll be able to do it without, you know, causing too many issues. Like it will still be a mess, but at least the trucks will have some place to go. All right, so there we go. So that's done. Now this one I'm not worried about because even though it's a bigger mess in some ways, they can go around here to get up to here. So that leaves this little place right here. And what I've done, or what I decided to do, was just build this out up to here and see if I can at least get a temporary road from like this intersection somehow. I might have to redo those power wires. Let's just see. Can we come up? Oh, wrong button. No. Overlaps with existing construction. You know, if we did this, can we get? Again, I'm not looking for pretty. I'm looking for temporary, and I'm looking for let's just lower that a bit. So it's a little bit prettier. After I just get done saying I'm not looking for pretty. Okay, can I come up this way? There we go. So, as goofy as that is for right now, it's actually not the worst looking road, is it? I mean, it may have its benefits just for other reasons down the road, though I would probably clean up this intersection a little bit. The reason for that road, I guess I'd have a little tiny piece right here that I would have to pave. But now we can pave this, and they would have the alternative of going this way, right? While I repave this section, which I'd actually like to do sooner rather than later. Right? And this is a very, you know, kind of very, oh geez, look at that. All right, well, that'll cause heartache for quite a while there. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, see, they're already... Look, our train's all the way down to here, which leads to another subject. I definitely was thinking that I'd like to get construction supplies, at least the bricks, out of here, right? I mean, I don't know that we need that much of the other construction supplies, but if we're going to have bricks coming here, or, you know, coming out of here, so we're going to need a train cargo loading platform. And I was thinking that, you know, just right down here would probably be a very logical place, right? As they can come past these and then come down into here somehow. So if we were to put such a train loading thing, let's come over here to take a look. I haven't tried to lay this out, so I don't know how this would go, but if we think about it, there's quite a few. I mean, it's really a symmetric thing. Why could we attach 4 of these to this, or at least put this in a place where we potentially could do such a thing? And then, here, let's see, can we fit it if we just went like straight off of that track there? Yeah, except I keep running into the border. I forget what it's like to construct at Revergrad because of that dumb border always being there, blocking you from getting a certain angle. All right, let's come a little bit off the border if we can. And then let's take a look at the wireframe, make sure there's not something. Yeah, there is a bit of a silly hill right there, isn't there? Let's see, can we flatten that out as much as we can, just so that when we go to bring this track in. Now, I don't know if that was. These power lines are certainly right smack in the way, aren't they? Yeah, and I think it would look good if we put it. Do we have this pole right in the way anyhow? I just want to pause it real quick. And then we're going to do this, you know, pay for it with dollars after we, not just the power line here. All right, so let's take and use this again real quick. There we go. Good. So now, before we put the power line up, we should probably, you know what I'm going to do? Let's delete. All of that. This is about where it stops being straight, right? Let's delete enough of this back. And just bring that straight down past here. We're not on build with dollars or anything dumb, right? There we go. Yeah, that's kind of a mess right there, isn't it? Man, let's get rid of, now that we're doing this, the other thing I would like to do, and I might even have to, you know what, I want to delete more of that, I think, is I'd like to make a loop somehow down here, because I think this is where I'd like to be able to spin back and finish off that extra piece of track, if you want to call it extra. Alright, so now, first of all, let's just get rid of, let's get rid of that road, just so it's not, and then we should be able to, let's put the road back, which does, I know doesn't make sense, but I didn't want it to be, when I do go to build it, it's nice when they're just one project. There we go. So for now, it's just a gravel road. Let's do that. Come back here. So what I'd say is, like, right after this, if we could, and then kind of come here and sort of mirror it. Kind of like the way it looked like that. There we go. That actually looks a little bit better in some ways. So now, if we come back to our train cargo station, yeah, we're in good shape. We'll put it like, well, let's see. It'd be nice if you could attach it like this, you know, where you could, but whatever. All right, I think that's not going to be janky. It's a little bit janky. Not much. A little, it was off a little bit. That's okay. All right, so now what we would want, again, we don't have to build all of these unless we want to, is medium. Oh no, we don't need medium storage yards at that point, do we? Because we have this thing. So I would say the road should face out, right? Yeah, what do we have? Let's just level. Let's use our leveling tool. Yeah, the leveling tool, by the way, is definitely, I haven't used it too much off camera, but it's definitely better than the building leveling. Because you don't run into the border, like it will let you level here, right? Where this wouldn't, because it's red. So definitely improvement. Thank you, devs, for doing that. So let's see there, and then I think that's nice looking. Yeah. And then I think this will have to come out like this way. Kind of switch, but try to keep it in the same vicinity as far as, you know, nice square, kind of rectangle, whatever you want to call that. I would call that a rectangle, not a square. All right, so we should be able to do this. Yeah, I like that. All right, now we should need roads, and I would definitely, just because we're flush with cash and asphalt and everything else. Oh, no, okay. That's a tight one. I think I would like it to connect up to here. Well, yeah. And what if we did something like this? Can we connect? Yeah. Not that we would want to, but at least we can, right? And then this. You know what? I think I would come off like this. For that side, and then this side. We're not going to be able to do that, are we? What if we did this, just to make it look a little more even, right? And then really, since we're going nuts, right? So then that way they have a few options. Would you even bring this road back up this way? And if I brought it, you can connect it right up to there, right? If we temporarily at least got rid of that power line, and then I don't think it makes much difference, but there we go. Alright, so let's not forget that power line. I'm glad I stumbled back across that. And like I said, I'm just going to, forgive me, be it, oh, okay. Angle issue here. Forgive me for being a little bit cheaty, but I'm just going to go ahead and pay for that with dollars. Just because we're so rich. We'll have the little green Martians of magical repair and building come in and take care of that for us. All right, well, there we go. So we laid out, I guess we should make this sort of, whatever you want to call it, committed. They say start construction. Well, we don't do it that way, but let's come to here. And then I guess we need to go into here. Oh, you know what I didn't do is said loop. Can I loop that around right in there? That would be kind of cool now that I built my lines again. All right, that's very encouraging. That's very encouraging. And that's very encouraging. Now, can I get this guy? No, you don't like that. I don't blame you. I don't really like that either. Well, I think if, oh, you know what? It's going to be too tight until I get all the way around there. Just have that little tiny straight spot. I bet you I could maybe come off. No, I got to come off closer. Come off like here. Oh no, because that doesn't really attach to it. Has to attach to this track or else it doesn't matter. See, now we could only loop. Yeah, see, if they were coming in on this way, they would have to be coming in on this way in order to loop. Now, here's another question, though. Do we need a crisscross any place to make all this work? Like, in other words, one's going to be the exit and the other's going to be the outset. So, see, this wouldn't really work unless we had, like, a crossing. And if we have the crossing, then that will serve my purpose. So let me just delete this back a little bit. Yeah, you know what? We didn't even build those power lines yet, so it should be. There we go. So in other words, when you come into this station, it's going to need to be where you can go to either or and then go back out either or. And if I keep it up this way a little bit, enough I can, well here, you know what, we can even put in the signals. Right, we would have either way signals there. And then we'd be able to cross. And then I would put another set of, I don't know if I need these, but oops, I didn't mean to turn that one way. There we go. So now, look, the question is, it's like after here, crossing not allowed. I don't want to cross. Oh, oh. Yeah, okay. I know that looks a little bit goofy, but I'm okay with goofy. I'm a little goofy sometimes, you know. See, if I do that, it looks ugly. It's probably going to look a little ugly no matter what, but now I made it too tight a turn. Okay. Let's just leave a little bit back off of this guy. Make him look. You kidding me? Come on, it would look so nice. You want it to look janky. Yeah. Okay. Let's ignore that. That's not my fault that it doesn't just go. Alright. There we go. Now we need to put our power line back up before we forget, and then we don't make any clothing for the next week and a half. Did I delete it? Okay. I don't remember deleting all of that power line, but I guess I did, huh? Look at that. Price of funded, $13,000. So it's certainly a lot cheaper to. Alright, so now let's go back over to the railroads and we'll just start construction of them. But what that allows me to do, the reason for that loop is, oh, and you know what, we probably have to put in, we're gonna get some errors if we don't put in some kind of a way. When these are connected, you need to put in, like, even just for temporary purposes, I'm just going to put like a signal here, and they're free. I guess I can understand why they're free, but at the same time, I don't like that they're free, these signals. But I guess you pay for it in the rail, right? Sort of like when you go to the fast food restaurant, they don't charge you for the ketchup, right? It's sort of already included in the thing. Now look at this mess of. Yeah, that is a problem of putting in the signals ahead of time, isn't it? Well, whatever. We're just going to have to deal with that. Yeah, we'll see. The trains are pretty smart about keeping moving along. So anyway, the reason I put in this signal is that if these lines cross anywhere, then these two trains get a red signal and they can't, they think they're on the same track, even though they're very different tracks. All right, so let's turn off this fairly ugly wireframe tool and take a look at what we did. Yeah, so we'll be able to, the biggest thing of all of this is to get another platform in here and then get the bricks being able to be brought out of here. And then it won't break my heart that we can bring in wood and steel and prefab panels into this area. I don't know that we'll do that, but at least we have it laid out, you know, for the space of it. So now what that also did is kind of box in Revergrad pretty much, didn't it? And I'm thinking that for my grandness and wonderfulness as the prime minister, I think I should have a better city that's named after me. Because, you know, when you're, look at the money that I'm bringing in and look at the happiness of my people, I deserve a grander city. And there's no place right around here that would be grand enough of a space for me to be able to use. So I have decided that we will come over here into this nice big open plain and we shall build another city. And in the future, it will be called something along the lines of Revergrad. But for right now, we're just going to give it any old name that randomly pops up so that when I am looking around at things, you know, and I don't want to name it after me until it is, you know, at least somewhat of a grand city. But here's the plan. Because this will be the grand city, we're going to build it up like a better version of Revergrad. And this is a long-term plan. This is episodes away, so don't get too excited. Trust me, I'm not even the rate that we're putting rails down, which is part of the reason I'm actually doing this. I'm going to end up putting in a rail or a road that comes like right around here from Stalingrad. So we'll have some kind of a continuation to this rail here that wraps around here. You can kind of see, you know, it'll be a bit of a challenge to get up over this mountain, but once we're up over the mountain or through the mountain, maybe we'll even build a tunnel. We haven't done one of those yet. You know, we could, where was it? We can either come this way in, but I think I might even deliberately come through like this sort of valley area up into this area. And that way, you know, it brings us, you know, the possibility of just a track heading off in that direction, right? So in other words, as we go to expand maybe even further on the map, you know, we would bring something maybe down into here right away. There you go. Just for those of you who are curious, in the live stream that I'm doing, this is the location. So this is about the middle of the map, more or less, right here. So that's another reason for kind of putting this guy here, is it's, you know, sort of close to the middle of the map. Any place we go, the new Revergrad will be, you know, a big part of it. Oops, and I'm leaving it on pause. Sorry about that. And I did put, yeah, I put those right, I'm pretty sure I put the electric back to that one. So there we go. So that's the thinking. Now the real reason for kind of thinking about that, and now I'm completely spun around and have no idea which direction. Eventually I will point back towards our, there we go, all the yellow. So here we are, right? If we come over towards Kemslaw, oops, you know what? I named that wrong. You know what? Let's name it to match the episode. Kemsaw. And again, I hope neither one of those are an insult in any language. But what I'm thinking of is we're going to build the higher end items in and around the new Revergrad. And in order to do that, we're definitely going to need two things. Steel to get the mechanical components. We're going to need chemicals. So what I'm thinking of is starting out, since we already have a bit of a construction thing here, and building another rail. You know, we'll take the rail and kind of come up here. Let's see, where was it? Yeah, see, I don't know if we'll go right over there, but at least if we come right off here, we have kind of like a platform where we could, you know, use these rail yards to do some of the construction, and you know, and build another railroad construction thing coming out off of here. So there we go. Look, we need to get this built because we've stopped most rail construction at this point. So probably would want to come off of here, right? Where, you know, eventually we would have, that's roads, you know, we would have a railroad track, at least one, that would like kind of head off in this direction. Double track. Oops, I messed that up. Right, so then we would have like a three-way kind of intersection somewhere over here where I can connect. Right, so that would be, yeah, after that road. Yeah, and these two. All right, let's think about this. They're going to be coming in. I'm going to try right-hand drive. So that would mean this guy would need to come here, and this guy would come there. And then we would want another one. Oops, did I miss? Looks like I missed. There we go. Yeah, see, this guy would come into that guy, because they would be coming down this way and in. And then this guy, why do I keep missing like that? All right, this guy would need to come into that guy. So when they're coming back out this way, they could come right on out. There we go. That's not too hard, is it? Now, again, the problem is that I probably block these guys from constructing unless I put signals on there. But let's see, we won't worry about that. Just sort of getting this started where we're pointing out towards, see, there we are. See, we're pointing right out there. We can kind of go any which direction. So what I now want to do, I guess I should do it like up here after this whole, yeah, can I make that? No, I guess this is fine. Now, here's a question. Do we have power? I want a train depot. I want a construction yard. That's right. Not sure why I wouldn't put the train construction yard in. Yeah, so we're going to have to, well, I guess we'll have to bring stuff over here. Where do we put this construction yard over here? Nah, that doesn't make, we still have to bring it in by truck, but it'd be a lot less truck trips, wouldn't it? Would it fit in here? Yeah, but I don't think I'd ever get. Not this way. If it would fit that way, then I would. Wait, it doesn't miss by much. Let's do the spin around thing. One more time. Nah, it's just not. Well, we'd want a good truck connection to it, even more than a good rail connection, right? Out of heck with it. It's not that hard to build one over here, but we do want to spin it around this way so we can get a nice road in there. Yeah, where would the road come from? Road would come from probably back here. Why don't we do gravel? Yeah, how much do these things hold? I mean, it holds a fair amount of stuff, not a huge amount. We'd have to have a good connection, but let's see. I mean, if we build it, well, let's do it this way, because then if I really don't like it, let's level off. Let me get my wireframe tool. Let's level off this a bit. Too fast. Yeah, that's more than a bit, isn't it? All right, we're definitely going to want this to be able to go every which way but loose in order to be able to construct in every direction. All right, so let's just see. Let's actually start with the track. Because then, yeah, this guy would be the tighter turn, right? I'm going to come off so it's not quite so tight. And then we want to be able to come like from here, say. There we go, right? So this way, no matter which way they're at, they can come in and out of here and go on any track. The only, well, they'll have a problem with this, but we can always get the other crew to build that. So now let's bring these together. And then can we level more? No, it's not gonna. Well, let's see what it does. I don't want to level the whole entire mountain here, so I think what I'll do is push it this way where it's a little more shallow. All right, to kind of turn it down this direction. We'll have a little bit less leveling to do. Let's get the building out and see what it looks like. Also don't need to level too much that we don't need to level. Yeah, so I definitely want the road. Well, it would be nice if the road could face this way. Yeah, see, it seems to me that the building leveling is faster. Or either that or it's just more direct. You know, you're just leveling exactly what you want. All right, we're getting in the ballpark. I need to get it so that road can get out. I think if I just keep going, yeah, that just raised it up a bit. All right, so let's do more railroad. This one, yeah, that'll be the tighter one. This one shouldn't have a problem. And let's get, now once these become, yeah, I think this would be a fine. Oh, come on. No, you won't go back in there? Okay, so you want to go there? That's fine. I'm okay with that. Now, I think the other thing I'd like to do is a crisscross here before we go in there so that these guys can come in and out any which way but loose. Though I don't know if that's even necessary. Now, will you let me crisscross? Yeah, good. There you go. And now, back to Rail Construction Office. Yeah, so I'd want it, but probably this way, because if I ever did want a third track, which I doubt I ever would. So now it's leveling up a little more than I would. Yeah, let's shrink that down. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I would put it like this. Yeah, that's, I need to push this down just a bit, just so that if I ever want to connect it, it's got a little chance of being semi-level. If I ever wanted to put other, right? Yeah, see, we have enough room if we ever wanted to put other storages. And then which way do we just put our, let's go back to here. So we need to put in the railroad anyway, but if we put in a conveyor, okay. Yeah, if we ever had the aggregate storage, it would be down in this area. That's fine. I think we got enough room. But I think we're going to be able to supply that no problem by, there we go. It's a little ugly right there, isn't it? And then what we would want next is a road. Yeah, we'll do an asphalt road. I saw somebody on the forums complaining that, like, when they push on this, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, if I level this out and then I go to hit the button again, it like won't do anything. But if you just come off of it again. Like, look, now it did move it ever so slightly, but right, so I want to come back up. Yeah, is there a better or worse spot? Nah, I went right off of this. It might look a tiny bit better. Back. And there we go. All right, I'm going to kind of semi, if you want to call it, commit to that. And let's go back over to our railroads and commit to all of that. So there we go. So now again, we've talked about our new Revergrad, but at the same time, a large portion of the purpose for all of that was to get another railroad construction thing down further this way, right? So I kind of want to make that, you know, one of my priorities. Did we get this finished yet? Yeah, good. So now we should be able to see. This is one of the reasons I tend to like to pause, is because we're not, you know, like our constructions of probably all. I even pause, you know, at times when I'm in. Here we go. Good. And it, well, now the problem is, will let me. Yeah, because we'll see. Because these are like connected, it may end up with like a red signal. Let's check this out. I may get a red signal as soon as one train gets over here. We don't have any jam ups, right? No. Yeah, and see, like, now that this guy's trying to come in, because there's a train on this track, it'll block it. But this one should be blue. So it won't let the next train, well, it's red right now because that other train's in there, but it should turn blue, and it'll let this guy get in first before it lets this guy get back out. Right, watch. Once this guy gets off of that block, and I know it's hard for you guys to probably see at the distance, but now it's red. Well, no, do you know what? This guy moved first, but this guy is going to move first in that case and come back in, because even if it hadn't stayed red here, it would have turned blue, and this guy still wouldn't have moved. And because this is one way now, this guy won't decide to come in on the wrong track. It's like at some point when this guy starts his journey, I think is when he's deciding his route. And when he decides his route, there may not have been a train here, so he said, oh, I'm going to go in there. But now that this is one way, he always decides on this route. So anyway, we should be getting... Yeah, we'll be getting trains back over here to do construction. Good. So that's fired back up, so to speak. And then we can... Yeah, I think the thing to do on this end of the world is to get this built, not ASAP, but sooner rather than later. So let's get this guy, who I know has done construction because he was working on that electrical connector. And let's get him to build this. So then we can get this built, and we can start talking about getting some trucks to drive some stuff over there. And I don't doubt this guy. Oh, he's still building. See, and I bet you what he's waiting for. If we go up here, this is the guy who's building this platform. Oh no, he's waiting for steel. Why are you waiting for steel? Well, he did have to wait for components. Oh, look, we got our little firehouse. Whoa, what is that? Oh my gosh. Ah, that's, you know what, I'm in the test mode, so what is that, some kind of a, oh, look, it's the coverage area or something along those lines. Oh, wait a second, can we do that with, let's go to this other, where's our other fire station? Right here. Yeah, look at that, that's the coverage area. It looks a little bit goofy. Oh, and look, I wonder if, look, see how you got like little red things and big red. Nice. Developers, I like that. Why isn't that? Okay, there we go. I didn't sort of like two of them open, but oh, so this answers the question about our warehouse. Look at that. It's just, it wouldn't be covered. Nice. Now, can we do that with construction offices? No. Okay. Well, maybe that's coming. How about power stations? Or substations or something. No, that would be nice too. Cool. Well, at least we know the mechanic is in the game. There you go. Firehouse ranges. So, with Firehouse ranges in mind, I would think maybe we build that in a little bit different location, huh? Yeah, well, we got plenty of other building to do up here, so in any event. So that guy's still working on this. This guy has no project. So let's see what we can get him to work on. I mean, he built a house before. And you know what? We don't really need many houses up here to get started. So let's see about getting him to work on the grocery store. Why not? He's still got the paving equipment in here for this Lumbrisca, because I still want to pave some more stuff. But at the same time, at least he's got all the other construction equipment that he needs to do it, just to be able to build a regular. But this is the only one. No, this guy now has, he has everything he needs, but he still also has paving equipment. The problem when you have the paving equipment in, for me anyway, the way I do it, like this guy has extra dumpers and extra open things for being able to do some things. So you don't, at this point, you don't quite end up with as many like cement mixers. Or does this guy even have buses? Yeah, he only has like one bus. Now we have an extra slot here, but I'm not too worried about it, as long as we're making progress. Good. So there we go. Well, that's pretty much, was there any, oh, you know what, do we want to do, now I don't want to do another construction office, but what I would also say is that while we're building, we probably should consider that we're going to want a road up to there as well, huh? Now, you know what, we're not going to think about it. I've got so much construction to do here. Really what I wanted to do was, in part get past this switch here so we keep building track, and get this built so that we can not have to come from here each time we go to build, right? Which isn't that far away, but eventually we're going to be done building all the way down here. And again, I could even up the number of train building things if I really wanted to, but this gives us a nice launching point for doing all the rail further north. We could use, mostly get supplied from here. But again, whatever we need to do to keep this guy supplied, and then it also gives us a closer shot to get up to the new Rivergrad. You know what? Let's call it that for now, just so we know what it is. A new Rivergrad shall be grand. We're going to try to make it worthy of my name. There we go. Very good. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed making it. And we've got, nothing major done in this particular episode, but we did make some progress on finishing up, or at least getting a plan for finishing up all of this. You know what? Let's make sure there's 2 trains working. Look at this. This is what I was talking about. Is it? No, we got green. Or what? We did. Look at this, though. See? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Because these 2 are connected way down here, it's saying, "Oh, look, you got a train on this." So what we need to do is I need to put a signal for those 2 to get on this track. I can't put a semaphore there, can I? I'll do it. Don't I have a semaphore? No, my semaphore is over there. There we go. So it's a bit of a mess putting it there, but at least, yeah, at least the problem is once they get into here, this is going to act like one block. And it's really going to slow the construction down until they can get past there. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll fiddle with that, and I hate to put in like 2,700 semaphores, but we may end up putting them in like here and here and here and here, so that like just kind of putting them in temporarily, just so that they can keep building and getting. I need to get them to where they can go out here and work, and then maybe work on this at the same time. Though this isn't really a huge project over that way. All right. Well, I'll work that out either on or off camera. I mean, I won't do too much off camera, but let's see. One last thing before we go. Let's go check the old city of Evergrad. How is our gravel doing and all that talking? Yeah, see, our gravel's only up to 22. This here looks probably a gravel truck right here. Or how are you doing with paving? Okay. Well, we have gravel, and this paving will use up some of our gravel. We're gonna go and make a big. Look, they're just using that road because it's the better way to go, huh? Alright, well maybe in the next episode we'll do something with redo. I'm not going to do anything with this, but I don't like the fact that they're using that dirt road, but hey, I guess I do, because then it's certainly making less traffic in the city, and if it's faster for them, then that's great too. So I think I'll just leave that alone for right now. But I do want to figure out eventually what's something to do with these guys if they're just sitting there waiting. I'm going to let them build up a little more gravel for now. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We have grand plans, and we're getting some, pretty darn good money here. We just almost can't spend it fast enough. So that's one of the reasons for getting started to push into Revergrad. Is we're doing almost too well. Knock on wood. It is actual real live wood, not just particle board. So hopefully, yeah, don't knock on particle board. I'm not sure if that has the same effect. Anyway. It's like knocking on paper wouldn't have the same effect, right? Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.